Hey guys, Wallywood again here with another tutorial. We're going to keep this rolling. It was received really well yesterday with my other one. I've had a lot of people request different tutorials such as the thigh and the face and other body parts, waist, things like that. So I am going to keep this going. This one is going to be a little quicker because we went over a lot of things yesterday that translate perfectly over to the same exact things. So yeah, we won't have to go so in depth. As long as you checked out the first tutorial on the chest and the t-shirt tutorial, all that translates over really well to this one. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and look at our thigh template here. So I mentioned this a little bit yesterday about how I do my templates and my layers. As you can see, this looks really congested. It looks like there's a lot of random stuff on the screen, but we're going to go over what all this means as we progress. So it will look confusing for a little bit, but it will slowly start to make sense. And again, we're using paint.net, so hopefully this translates over to GIMP and Photoshop. I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with those. So we've already got a reference art here. We're going to be doing a Vader side piece logo for his thigh. We've already cleaned it up. Everything's nice, ready to go. We don't have to do very much at this point in time. The only thing that we may suggest doing at this point is just straightening up this line right here, so it's not so angled. We want it to be flat. A lot of the designs that you'll see will come in at an angle due to the fact of how it was done. So with that right there, we're just going to cut it off, make it a perfect rectangle, so it's now ready. Let's flip back over to our template here. So to kind of explain to you what we got going on here, we got our background, which is the blue, the grid, again, that's only to help separate, so you don't have, if you do have a part that overhangs, you don't want it to overhang into the other section. And then what we have here is a few different areas of the thigh. So the thigh has a lot of different layers that you can use in creative. You can use short layers, long layers. You can make like tights, blue jeans, things like that. Some of the more common things that you're going to use here are going to be either tights or like singlet style short trunks, such as like Owen Hart, Kurt Angle, things like that. So we're going to try to simplify this. Today we're going to be doing a logo on the outside thigh. And as you can see here, I have center point, I have outside thigh, inside thigh, and front side thigh. So clicking on these buttons, we're going to be able to take a look at exactly what that means. Now again, I know this just got a little bit more confusing, but bear with me here. So if you were going to put an emblem on the inside of the thigh, of course, you can just click off these other ones. And I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get rid of that little, perfect. There we go. I inadvertently did it. So that right there is just basically the inside of the thigh. So anywhere that we see this white mark, it's fair game to go ahead and lay a design on that. So if we were putting this on the inside, we'd want to kind of keep it right there. And this just kind of gives us our angle about where the inside of the thigh is. The most common one that you'll probably use in this case, and I've used Bret Hart's logo here because it's a very good representation of the size of the outside thigh, because it will wrap around a little bit to the front and it will wrap around a little bit to the back. It's just a very large logo, so it gives you a much cleaner and bigger area to kind of see, okay, this is my workspace. If you want something that is directly front facing, right in the center of it, you can literally click on the center point one, and this is the line that is literally just right in the middle. As if you were facing the wrestler, this would be what you would see facing you directly. No need to turn anything to the side. It's going to be all right there. There's one called front side thigh that I did for a little bit, and this was just the 3 hearts for Bret Hart. This was a good indicator of where that center point and how far it can fade over until we start getting into that middle ground. So let's say if you wanted something that was going to be kind of right in the middle of that, you would kind of click on, let's cut off center point, and let's turn on inside thigh. So you know that this is like where the inside thigh is. We want everything to kind of be on the outside of that. So there you go. And then backside thigh, I believe, I actually, I don't think I have anything set for backside. I don't think I've ever had to do anything directly just on the backside. But yeah, if you need something like that, there's plenty of pieces in game that you can export, drag and drop, and then just move from there. But since we're doing a Vader side piece here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to knock out just the outside thigh piece. So I probably won't have time in this tutorial to go over every like single placement of this and every single angle. There is a lot here, but what we can do is I can try to knock out as many as I can. What I like to try to do for this very first piece is just try to get it as large as you can up and down the side, because you really want it to be visible. So this first angle right here is just going to be the direct, as if you were looking at it directly from the side. Okay, so here's where I like to use my duplication layer trick that I was telling you about yesterday. Oh, almost forgot my own step here. Let's go ahead and name this Vader thigh. So that way we know that that's what that piece is. And we can move that up to the top. It's not going to hurt anything. It's being up there at the top is actually perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and duplicate that layer and see we got a second one. Let's move it over here and let's do it again. And we're just going to continue to repeat this and see how many we can go ahead and get. We want to make sure that we keep it in between the Bret Hart area. You kind of get to be the judge here about how far that you want it to go in on this side, because it doesn't have to be perfect. A lot of people will stress out and they'll be like, oh my gosh, if it's not perfect. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter, because these wrestlers change positions so many times. It really won't matter to you at all at the end of the day. It's going to be about the same. So let's go ahead and copy that again. And I'm going to make another new image of this one. Oh, I messed up a little bit here, but we're going to keep rolling. I didn't mess up bad enough to have to redo this from scratch. So let's go ahead and just merge all these. I'm going to copy this one because this is the exact same shape that we need. Hit new image. There we go. Now we have the right size saved in case if I lose one of my angles here, or if I inadvertently delete something. That way I don't have to go in here and resize the original one. So there we go. Let's do that. Let's move that one again. Let's keep this going. You never know. I might be able to knock this out in a record time, and you guys can see every angle very quickly. That'd be nice. So this first couple angles really explain themselves. You don't have to mirror anything. You don't have to do anything. Just kind of just move them around. Try to get them in between that Bret Hart logo. Let's keep it going. Move this one down. We can angle this one. All of these angles right here are relatively close to one another. So again, we can sit here and duplicate. Move, and you might have to adjust it slightly. But I'm kind of breaking my own rule here, because see, I moved it over on a slant, and now it's starting to kind of fade. I don't like that. That looks a little blurry. So let's go ahead and move that down, and then let's just manually move it. And you'll see a major difference there. Compare that to how this looked a second ago, and it's a world of difference. You can kind of move a few of them here and there and get away with it without having to do too much work. Between them. Slight moves here and there. Again, you don't have to worry about getting every piece to line up perfect. That's going to be what our removal tool does. And really just looking at it from the angle, the wrestlers change position so much that you may only get a glimpse of one or two of these angles at a time. I've noticed that a lot of times you're just going to see the side view of something. Oops, inadvertently changed the side there. Let's go ahead and turn that again. Let's keep this going. We're doing pretty good on time, I think. Yeah, I can't find another angle for that one, so let's go ahead and just find that. Let's go start there. Ooh, yep. There's a few angles that share this exact angle right here. So we can literally just go right here, change that. That one doesn't blur out too much. Is there one right here? I didn't, yeah, I may have inadvertently. Nope. Okay, perfect. All right, cool. So if you are getting to this point to where you're starting to knock out so many of them at a time, I like to go ahead and kind of merge a few of the layers. We don't want to inadvertently go back and just get on a click fest and start merging layers that will inadvertently merge to the template. So as you can see, I'm already up to like layer 27 over here. Let's just go ahead and start merging down until we get them all on that Vader thigh area. There we go. And see, as you can see, I think we're almost halfway done. So let's just keep it going. Let's just keep going. We're making pretty good time here. So when it comes down to reference art, a good place to look is going to be Google. Another good place is if you have the WWE Network. Look up some of their HD videos of wrestling matches. Make sure that you find a good one, a good angle, screenshot it, do whatever you got to do. Oh, that one blurred out too much. Can't use it. What I like to try to do is try to find anything that I can without any type of reflection. Reflections kill you when it comes to pixelation. They will pixelate so hard and so fast, and it will just blur out and it will just look like absolute crap. So let's keep this going. We're actually making pretty good time. I might try to keep this under 20 minutes if I can. So I may get done in time. I may not. We'll see. Depends on how fast I can do it. Less explaining on this one right here. This is all very explanatory, self-explanatory. There won't be a lot of use for me having to go in here and really like get in depth with this. I mean, I could sit here and talk your ear off all day about just different angles and different tricks, but that's not. I mean, it's not going to do anything but confuse you. There's a lot of good reference art out there in other video games that you can find. A lot of people use creator wrestlers on like SmackDown vs. Raw that you can find pretty good photos and pretty good HD shots. Wow, we've already got a lot more done than I thought we would, so let's keep this going. Okay. Also, there is a shortcut key. I have a bad habit of not using that too much unless if I'm actually trying to just undo some things. A lot of times the reason why I won't use a shortcut key or anything like that. Some people are really good about, setting that to their mouse, like an extra mouse button. Not a bad idea to do if you're good at like doing that. But I have a tendency to try to keep an eye on every single one of my layers individually. I don't like to go in and just shortcut them because I may have forgotten where that shortcut or where my last paste came from. And then before you know it, I'm sitting there like looking around for it. Where did I place it? I've got like 8 overlays on the exact same thing. Oh, interesting. Here we go. Check this out. This is kind of cool. So this is going to be an overlay here. All right, so this angle right here is just at the very top of the thigh. We are not going to see very much of the logo here. You don't go ahead and drape it all the way across. You're going to have to try to line it up. But if you notice, that's overhanging into this section. Do not leave that. So you're going to want to delete that as much as you can off of this other section, because when we go in to do the cleanup, it won't clean off of that, and you'll just see Vader, and then you'll see another overlap of another texture. So let's keep it going. Here we go. Wow, we're actually doing fairly fast here. Let's see here. Very common angles here. Not much movement. So we can just kind of copy over. Yeah, look at that. We're knocking this out left and right. Ooh, okay. I don't like that. Blurred too much. Kind of went back to the well too many times, I guess. So there we go. We're going to continue to kind of angle this one and angle this one. We're making good time. Also, another cool trick, go ahead and send one upside down for this area down here to copy your layer off of. Because as long as you make sure you get it at a 90 degree or upside down 90 degree angle, it'd be so much easier for you to just copy it over and just turn it from that angle. That is another speed trick that will help you out in the long run. If you just literally copy it from the upside down angle and then you start pasting from there, because everything below this section is already going to be upside down. So it's just a matter of like copying it from an already upside down angle. And wow, we're at 14 minutes. All right, I think I said I wanted it to be under 20. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and finish this up. We're close enough. We might as well. Oh, there's a phone ringing. Ignore the phone. You didn't hear the phone. The phone does not exist. All right. So there we go. Only a few more here. Flip it over. Okay. Yeah, we're getting kind of into the nitpicky area right here. So where there's not going to be a lot of this ribbon showing on this section. So don't worry about it. The text is the only thing that's going to be blurred. So even if it's like a little blurry over there on just that little bit of a line that may show up at a certain angle, don't sweat it. I mean, it really only affects things that have a lot of pixels in them. Luckily, we have a very easy one here that doesn't seem to have a lot of area that needs to be worried about being over pixelated. So there we go. That's every single one of them. Just that fast, we got done with a layer, and that's in 16 minutes. You can really imagine. All right, so now we're just moving all the merge to one, okay? But yeah, you can really imagine how fast you can really get it going once you get the hang of this. Once you get yourself a good template, either from me or make your own, doesn't really matter. So now we're just going to do the cleanup and the export, just like we did yesterday. So let's go ahead and go in here to thigh. We're going to highlight the thigh. All right, so again, just like yesterday, highlighted it. Everything on the inside of the thigh is going to stay. Everything on the outside is going to disappear. So now we're going to click back on the Vader thigh here. We're going to press the delete key on our keyboard, and magic, boom, we are done. Go ahead and cut off the outside thigh layer, and you're good. This is it. This is all you need. So one other question that has been popping up a few times, and I can go over it really quickly here, is black and white, the way that this game handles hue. Okay, so if you want this to be colorable, there's a very easy trick to that, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what that is. We're going to go ahead and take the thigh off of here. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to leave the background up here. So with Vader highlighted here, if you change this to a black and white image, you'll notice that it turns outright gray. But if you invert the color, that would mean that this entire thing will be colorable, whatever color you want it to be. It's fine. Most of Vader's colors are black and red. No need to really do that for this, but this is just kind of an example. If I were to hit Control Z and I'm backed out of it, I can actually take it back to the black and white form, and I can manually lighten it up with a color contrast here that would make it even better for coloring, because all the black is going to stay the same, but all the white is going to be colorable. But again, we don't need to do it. We're just going to leave it red because it's Vader. Everything's black and red with Vader because it's Vader time. Yeah, I said it. So let's go back here. Let's go ahead and finalize this. Vader ribbon done. Save it as the PNG over here in Craft. We're going to call this Vader thigh. Remember to always name it exactly where the place that you're going to put it. So that way, whenever you do export it in game, we're just going to write Vader thigh. That's fine. As long as you have what part it is, you won't get confused later as to what it is. You won't be sitting there trying to export it in game and say, oh, what was this piece? Was it part of a calf? Was it this? So let's, I'm going to move this over here. Let's go ahead and do that. So here we go. We can go ahead and actually see what it looks like in game. Whenever I hit Workshop, Publish, Parts Texture, and we should have Vader. Right here, it's going to automatically default to face base, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go thigh layer. Finalize, install. Everything looks good from here, but of course we won't know until we test it in game. So do not jump the gun. Don't go too overboard. Don't just release it without checking it. You know, always make sure you double check the work. And again, even though we've got it all finalized here, hit Control Z, and now we've got our layers back. So in case we do need to go in there and fix some angles. All right, guys. I just got it underneath the gun of 20 minutes. I'm at 1940 something. So I'm happy with that. If you guys have any more questions about thighs, let me know. But this should pretty much cover it. If there's anything else that you would like me to cover in a more advanced tutorial, I do plan on getting more advanced as we go. This is just the basics, and then we'll move on to a little bit more of an advancement. Like if there is something like an object, like an armor or a piece that actually needs to be set at a certain 3D angle, we will be showing you guys eventually how to do that. So things that like our logos are very easy to fake a three-dimensional with. But if you have something like a knee pad or something that sticks off the body, that's going to be another ball game. That's going to be something that actually has to be manipulated into a 3D look, and we'll get into that as we go. I've got a few parts, like I think on my list I've got LOD, Road Warriors, chest plate. I know one's already been made, but somebody's actually requested that I make one for LOD 2000. So I will be able to kind of go in there and kind of show you guys what I mean whenever I get to that, because that does have a lot of overhang, and there is a lot of angles that will have to be manipulated using a 3D style tool. So that's it for this. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like it, redundant. Okay. If you like it, press the like button, hit subscribe. Check me out on YouTube. Just leave me a comment. Tell me how much these help you out. If they don't, they don't. If you could just throw me some critiquing, I'd enjoy that too. Just tell me, hey, you need to do a better job of not being so Southern. I'd appreciate it. Just kind of give me an idea about what helps you guys best or what I may be missing. This is my first time doing tutorials, so I may even be forgetting some things myself. Thanks for listening, and I hope you guys stay till the very end. Talk to you guys soon. I'm out.